Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Jonathan back again with the Weekly Scuffle, and I'm here to predict Week 1 for the Miami Dolphins versus the Los Angeles Chargers. And honestly, I think it's going to be a very tough matchup. It almost seems as a must-win game because of how competitive the AFC is this year, especially with the Chargers being one of those teams who will probably be in the playoff hunt. And of course, the AFC East is stacked with the Bills and the Jets, and we really have to go out there and perform week in and week out. And assuming Tua stays healthy, I think the Dolphins have a great shot at potentially making the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. It really all depends on health of this team, specifically two players, that being Tua and Teron Armstead. Teron Armstead, I believe, is going to play. I'm not so sure about that, but he did it last season where he didn't practice, and he pulled up, he suited up for the games, and he performed very well. Probably our best O lineman all of last season, and we paid him big money to be that. I think he could definitely do it. I think Tua needs to stay healthy, and I think this first game is going to be somewhat of a proving ground because, of course, last year, Tua played against the Chargers. We lost that game. Everything that happened last year, we leave that all in the past. We go into this game, it's a new season, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the offense responds because last year, the Chargers were that one team that kind of figured out the Dolphins in a way, and it was very interesting to see. I believe them and the 49ers were the two teams that really were like, all right, we're going to use our linebackers and really stop this over the middle and force Tua to throw to the boundaries. And, it's going to be very interesting to see if McDaniels could adapt to that and kind of use the run game a bit more. I think that was lacking in both the Chargers and 49ers game last year. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how Tua and Waddle and Tyreek all play together. This is the second season. This is the first time Tua has had the same head coach, well, and offensive coordinator 2 years in a row. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. I think the Dolphins could potentially take another stride, and hopefully, with Vic Fangio and the additions we have on defense, our defense is a lot better than it was last year. And I think if it is, I think the Dolphins will be in great position to win this game. With that being said, though, I predict us to win probably 31 to around. I could see anywhere from 24 to 28. I could see it being a very close game. I could see it being kind of a comfortable victory, but it's going to be very interesting for us to play. I think it all really relies on the offense. If our offense performs at the level it's capable of, I think we're going to be in great hands. And if the defense plays well, which I think they will, I don't think we'll be one of the top units out there, especially with Jalen Ramsey being injured. But I think they're going to do well regardless, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this game plays out. But with all that being said, we'll see how all this plays out and see you next season.